Good day, guys. Today we will be looking through the developer notes major update overview for Galactic Disaster Season 2. This is second season for Chaos Nightmare. It's been over 100 days since the release of the game. We'll just breeze through the update notes and then I'll summarize all the listings over here and try to understand and explain my thought process and what some of the updates entail for us players in the upcoming future, what we could expect, and what we could enjoy and see. So, zero out, all despair. The nightmare continues. Hello, this is the CZN team. Chaos Zero Nightmare has approached 100 days since official launch. In this dev note, we would like to briefly share most anticipated and frequently asked questions from Protoss, along with an overview for Season 2 update. So previously, we've CZN's dev team released one of the roadmaps for that includes Season 2, which is this one right here. So this is a more detailed and more, I guess it would explain and at least give us more information regarding the upcoming event. So just to preface, Chaos Zero Nightmare is a seasonal based game wherein contents comes in waves, so we could expect how good the game goes in the No, not really that necessarily. We would expect a lot more contents in waves to the point wherein we should expect there are some times where there are downtimes, especially, but seeing as the previous updates that rolled in the past, we've always been seeing updates and information that is slowly, incrementally improving from the dev teams. So, Season 2 backgrounds. One of the impressive things when it comes to CZN is the themes in the planet. Second, the character design. And third, not character design, most especially the monster and enemy design. They are so detailed. They're so grotesque. You can see some of the inspirations that they give out. And then number 3, the environment. One of the best designs in my opinion when it comes to backgrounds. All right. So currently we are in Planet Verde, and which is contaminated by chaos. So we should expect monsters that are thematically around this. We'll be seeing some recurring characters because it's based on factions. And these are the 2 new bosses that we'll see. This is the defeated animation, or whenever we come by it through a random encounter. This is quite a wriggly, to say the least. So this looks like a mix of a werewolf, if you're formed, with pipes leading through a vat of whatever that is. Looks really great, one-eyed. This was revealed in the previous dev update. The finger boss or finger cyclops thing looks absolutely horrid, but the design is so well put together. So this is a mix of the blue planet, wherein we see some of the spirit things, as well as some. I think this is like a. I'm not familiar with the faction names, but we can see the 2 types of monsters that we'll encounter in this Planet Verne. So when it comes to seasons, you should expect there are mechanics that are unique per season and that will be seen throughout the entire of the game's lifespan. So here, this season will be introduced to arena equipment, which features a variety of conditional trigger options that are not available on existing equipments. In particular, some equipments can grant arena cards when their effects are triggered, allowing you to temporarily upgrade the power of your hand through these cards. So, in other words, these are like bonus effects specifically catered to cards that have the tag probably of arena. And normally cards that don't have it would have its typical base effect. But for this particular tag, we should expect more additional benefits, be it detrimental or beneficial. The second would be refinement. by winning arena battles in chaos regions. So as you progress through the chaos, you can perform a refinement. So a refinement is a system that grants new abilities to equipment. So the equipment that we gather or purchase through Jajan, we'd be able to choose 3 random generated options for a selected piece of equipment. With approximately 20 different options available, this system allows you to enhance equipment or introduce variations for your preferred build style. So right now it seems that the Kaiser Nightmare team are slowly branching out the quite simplistic and quite straightforward build paths that everyone has been going through. So we're trying to move towards a more traditional rogue like aspect in regard to introducing another RNG element, but now on gears that we pick up through the chaos runs. So if you're planning to do deck farming, this is an additional RNG, but later on in the dev updates, we'll see what they plan to do to reduce some of those RNG effects. So in number 3, Power 3, God's Hammer. The interior bosses of season regions are far more powerful than the standard bosses. In return, defeating them will drop God's Hammer, which grants access to exceptionally powerful effects. So this is primarily used for refining equipment, and existent refinement effects is removed. So as you can see, you can treat it like you're upgrading to the next tier, but there is still randomness involved in this. But I guess you could say it's like similar to the Divine Epiphanies compared to the normal Epiphanies, but this time it's implemented towards your equipment that you get from the Chaos runs. And possible equipment effects that appear in Chaos, including Mythic grade, so the purple gear. With a bit of luck, you may obtain legendary or powerful Mythic effects. So it seems that you'll only be granted one effect. I'm not sure if this applies to multiple equipments or you can only have one per character when it comes to the God's Hammer. But I'm pretty sure we should expect that you can have multiples of it. So this is a big update right here, 0 update revamp. Currently 0 updates benefits or the upgrades that you can get through playing chaos runs are pretty straightforward, wherein you can improve the divine drops, you can meet the starting 1 HP pick 3 cards thing, but it's mostly just improving your HP, attack, and defense. So right now they're updating it such that we can get first the things regarding Epiphany and card duplications when it came to build deck building. The dev team during the previous dev update or the roadmap were very keen about the Protoss having fatigue in regards to card deck buildings, and it's really been quite a challenge. And because of that, they've implemented this wherein if the desired Epiphany or card duplication does not appear, people usually just quit the game. So they've addressed it by having first meditation features whenever you do a rest or in safe zones with a Jajan girl. You can spend certain set amount of currencies or credits where you can reroll an Epiphany that already has an Epiphany. So they're trying to make it such that we don't necessarily drop chaos runs on the go. Although this could be an issue when it comes to like getting credits, but this is still a really good way to handle it. In addition to resting or training, safe zones will now offer strategic choices through meditation. So this is shared between the 2 existing ones, which is resting and training. So we should expect that we can only choose 1 out of 3. But since it's a set amount of credits, it would probably be similar to card remove in that cost. I'm not too sure about it, but we'll be seeing it soon in a couple of days. Second would be the enhancement to select and duplicate combatants. One of the important things that happened during the previous season is that players were not able to select the duplicate cards that we necessarily want. Like in my experience, I was having such a hard time trying to get move cards for mail-in, for example. And because of this upcoming update, we should expect that we can select a specific combatant out of the three where it's more likely or it's specifically going to be only for the combatant we've selected. So this is a new skill tree that refreshes every season and is only active for that duration of the season. So for season 2, this is the tech tree that we have right now. And it's supposed to reinforce the season's core mechanics, deck building, new fates, refinement opportunities. So once they introduce more information about the seasons, we'll see what kind of tech tree they'll give. But so far, this is the one we have right now. Speculative. Would cater more towards the current arena card enhancement or the epiphanies for equipments, I believe. So seasons board. This is a QOL, a new piece of seasonal content. The season board will be added. We will be able to see all the seasonal records and objectives at a glance. So in the previous season, we had to go through the season page, and then they'd see us 6 options that we can do in that season. So they made it very accessible in that regard, where we have one source of information and we can go through each of them in one page alone. Next should be decorating ID cards. So right now it's very minimal, wherein we only have Renoa and the availability to change the combatants we would like to show off. But now that they added this, we can see a lot of players are going to customize their own profile cards. The next step that I hope we could experience is like we would be able to design our own player cards like how it was done in Epic 7. But that isn't a priority, and so far this is already good enough. So the next one would be codex improvements and unique options. So codex system, this is the one where we spend the currency whenever we do chaos runs. And previously I've said about this one about the HP defense fates. This is the more specific section of the update. The appearance of tier 14 codices was adjusted to improve balance. So this is whenever we do the refreshing or re-rolling for the maps, it looks like they increase the probability of it appearing. And mythic grade codices will be added. So right now we only have green, blue, gold, and now they're introducing the purple in the for the maps. So mythic codices can be obtained through merging chaos orbs or discovered clearing a codex. So whenever we spend the reroll or whenever we finish a chaos run, when it comes to chaos when it comes to a codex system, they come with heavier penalties, but the save data limit is increased to 15. So that's what 180, I believe. Not too sure about that, but it's definitely above 170. So such as divine interventions can be applied. Listed below are the divine interventions. Enter a god, rather divine delegate. So this is one of the chaos codex system upgrades that we have, wherein we're at the start of the chaos run, we're introduced to the messenger guy, but now we have a straight up one of the 4 gods would show up. They improve the chaos orb acquisitions, crystal of discord acquisition as well. They've added restrictions depending on which god shows up. Really interesting. Monster stat increase. And unable to acquire save data. So they've added constraints, be it stats, be it save data, unable to acquire. This one I'm not sure if I would like to run it personally, but if you But I really do enjoy sometimes just running Chaos just for the fun of it, not necessarily for deck building. So going forward, additional unique options will be introduced with a wide variety of effects, and it will make it seem like Chaos runs are fresh and constantly updating, which is a good thing for the player base because roguelike is the main thing that we should be focusing on in CCGN. Now they're going to introduce the new memory fragments, Beast and Aspiration, which upgrades Justice and Order attribute, toss attack cards, and Reign of Glory, which increases allies' damage when generating or using exhaust skill cards. And here's a sneak peek of 9. She's, I believe, a green unit, a green Vanguard unit, so Order attribute, who excels at generating shields for allies while dealing powerful defense-based attacks. So at first glance, it may seem like she's Calliope, but we'd like to know more about her kit in the future. So generally, the CGN team are going to introduce all of these new features that were shown through the dev notes or the roadmap update during December, and they've really tried to make it seem very prudent about how players are having a hard time trying to find the builds that they want, and they're also trying to give us the opportunity to just play for fun through the zero system, and that's really good. So just a quick summary is that we get introduced to a new planet, Verney. We're exposed to the 2 type of monsters that we can encounter over there, which are the spirits as well as a grotesque thing over here. They've introduced a random effect for equipment as well as cards, which is really good. So this makes us be able to go through more RNG and more build variations so the players don't get fatigued or constrained into one specific build. They've also included more rarities for these new updates right here, as well as to the zero system maps. They've more importantly added a specific targeting for combatants, card duplication, as well as the ability to reroll epiphanies through the campsites, which is really important. Meditation has to be one of the more important things that they've included for these seasons, so I applaud to that. And they've also sneak peeked to us the upcoming tech tree, skill tree, whatever you may call it, upgrades for each per season, which is a really good thing. And that's pretty much it. So what we can glean from this is that the developers do see the complaints that we players have when it comes to deck farming, and it seems to me that they are trying to move past the fact or move past the events wherein a specific combination of cards and characters are the only ones that matter in getting the desired score. And that's a really good thing. They're listening to the players, and they're trying to understand what makes this type of game really mesh well with the community. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.